Alright, camera's on, mic's on, look a little decent. Alright, what's going on everyone? It's Steven, back again with another DareToCapture video. Now this video is essentially going to be a campaign for jump cuts. If you're not sure what a jump cut is, I'm throwing examples of them at you right now. As you can see, a jump cut is a sudden change or jump between clips. Now if you've been watching any other DareToCapture videos, you've probably noticed that there haven't really been any jump cuts up to now. Now that doesn't mean I have anything against jump cuts, it's just something that is a personal preference for me right now. And knowing me, my taste is gonna change and you'll probably see more jump cuts in future videos. Based on the title of this video and what I've said up to now, you can assume that this video is gonna be all about jump cuts, so that's probably all you're gonna see in this video. Jump cuts, jump cuts, jump cuts. And because of that, I'm gonna give you 4 reasons as to why you should use jump cuts in your videos, especially if you're using them for something like YouTube. Reason number 1. They cut out long pauses. They cut out awkward pauses. They cut out any unnecessary pauses in your dialogue. If you're on a platform like YouTube, you probably wanna make videos that are a little longer in length. So because of that, you're gonna be talking for a little longer than a minute or 2 at a time. When you're making these longer videos and you're talking for a longer time, it's much harder to get through the entire video without having some sort of pause or break in the action. Now if you're somebody that can sit in front of the camera, go 10 minutes and get through your entire video without having any breaks or pauses in the action, then kudos to you, because honestly that's really impressive. However, for the other 99% of us, we're gonna have to pause at some point. We're gonna have to take some sort of break within our videos just so we can gather our thoughts and make sure we're still on track with our videos. I'm somebody that can barely talk 30 seconds at a time, let alone minutes and minutes at a time. Think about a recent YouTube video that you've seen. There's probably been quite a few changes in scenery, there's probably been a few camera changes, there's probably been a few transitions that you noticed. And for the most part, even though all of these things help add to the video and help make it more engaging, those things happen because there are probably pauses in the action. So instead of having choppy dialogue throughout the whole video, there's small changes that occurred to hide the jump cuts that were gonna happen. How often do you really see a scene that takes place minutes and minutes at a time without any sort of change in the camera, any sort of change in angles, any sort of switching between characters? There's always that little bit of change or transitions that happen to hide the pauses that take place in the dialogue. It's very rare that you see a scene that is minutes and minutes long where it's just one continuous camera shot. It's very rare because most of the time pauses are gonna occur in the dialogue, and because of this, there's gonna be some sort of camera change, some sort of angle change, or some sort of transition that happens to hide up those pauses. And that's what a jump cut does when you're adding it into your videos. They're gonna hide those long pauses that happen in your videos because most of the time, we're not gonna be able to talk for as long as we want without having some sort of pause with our speaking. So use jump cuts to cut out those long pauses, that way you have a smooth dialogue throughout your entire video. Reason number 2 for using jump cuts in your videos is that they allow for more emphasis. When you're making your videos, you're probably making a ton of specific points that you need your audience to pay attention to. Using jump cuts will allow you to put more emphasis on these points. There's just something about a jump cut that makes what you're saying seem much more important. It could be the sudden cut that causes things to be a little jarring, and this could make it seem as though what you're saying is much more important, thus putting a little more emphasis on the point that you're trying to make. Now there are other ways that you can put emphasis on a point that you're trying to make. One of those things is typically yelling or raising your voice a little bit. Using a jump cut can help you eliminate using a tactic like that. I'm not gonna have to talk much louder, I'm not gonna have to yell at you just so I can get my point across. Yes, I'm trying to put more emphasis on the point I'm trying to make, but at the same time, yelling is only gonna be distracting to the audience, and in the end, that could actually turn them off to what I'm trying to say. You wanna make sure that your audience is as engaged as possible for as long as possible during your videos. So a simple jump cut to put more emphasis on your points is gonna allow your audience to stay engaged for a longer time. If you really don't believe me on this point, then you need to try it. Go ahead, put some jump cuts in your videos. Reason number 3 for using jump cuts in your videos is because it makes things much more personable. So for me, when I'm watching a video and it feels like a sit-down one-on-one conversation with the person in that video is automatically gonna seem better to me regardless of the content because it feels much more personable. And when you're using jump cuts, you're gonna give yourself the opportunity to seem much more personable. Because you're more than likely gonna be making videos for something like YouTube or something similar to that, you're not gonna have a full 90 minutes to actually develop a full story. And because of this, you're more than likely not gonna have the luxury of being able to plan a very smooth transition between every single one of your shots. And because you won't always have the luxury of having a smooth transition between your shots, jump cuts are more than likely going to be expected in your videos. And because of the type of dynamic that YouTube offers us, jump cuts is something that shouldn't necessarily be frowned upon. This is something that I feel automatically makes YouTube feel much more personable. Your audience is gonna feel like you're talking directly to them, which you probably should be doing anyway. And being able to better connect with your audience is something that you want to do for every video that you make. And when you do this, your videos are just gonna seem that much better regardless of what the content is. Finally, reason number 4 for using jump cuts is that it allows more movement within your frame without using a traditional transition. A ton of videos out there are gonna have a very smooth type of transition when they wanna move something within the frame. However, sometimes you may not always wanna use a smooth transition. This is where a jump cut comes into play. So for example, I could start on this side of the frame, and then in the blink of an eye, I'm on this side of the frame. And this is something that could easily happen with a smooth transition. However, using a jump cut is something that just allows that, I guess you could say, transition to happen much faster. I can show you this transition by being over here, and then I slowly start turning and turning and turning, and then now I'm on this side of the screen again. However, that transition took a little bit longer than I would have liked, which is why I go from here to over here in just the blink of an eye. With the jump cut, you're able to jump anywhere on the screen without having to use a traditional transition. It may seem a little jarring for some viewers, but that's where your content comes into play. With the right content, you can get away with some jarring movements in your videos. So there you have it. That was my little argument for using jump cuts in your videos. It's honestly gonna come down to a personal preference and the type of videos that you end up making in the end. If you're making all your videos for YouTube, don't be shy to use a jump cut. It's more than likely going to be expected because of the type of videos that YouTube is gonna offer. And when you use jump cuts correctly, you can really use them to enhance your videos. And it's safe to assume that if you can enhance your videos in some way, your video is automatically gonna be a little bit better. And when you have a little bit better video, your audience is probably gonna be more happy, and in the end, that's probably gonna bring in more viewers and more people to view your content. And that's what we want in the end anyway, right? We want as many people as possible to come view our videos. Now, if you can think of any other reasons why jump cuts should be widely accepted by everyone, please leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit that like button as well. And since you're hitting that like button, you might as well subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any more DareToCapture videos. DareToCapture has a lot of things in the works, and it would just be a shame if you missed any of that because you forgot to hit the subscribe button. So with all of that being said, I'm Steven. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.